How do you suggest that people start experimenting with these sort of anti-inflammatory, exclusionary approaches without sliding into food fear?
Yeah, that's a great question. Like in our book, if somebody is really sick, like a lot of our patients have anywhere from 0 to 5 good days a month. Like their quality of life is really poor. They've been to 20 different doctors. Nobody knows what the heck to do with them. They're giving pills for symptoms and they're just struggling big time, right? Mm-hmm. And so a lot of our patients, they're in like a severe inflammatory state. And so what we'll do is for the first 30 days, we'll have them avoid inflammatory foods. So this is a lot. Like I'll just tell you what you can eat. Proteins, nuts, seeds, beans, peas, vegetables, fruits, pretty much just that's all you can eat, like real food, right? When it comes to corn, rice, eggs, dairy, gluten, sugar, they avoid that for 30 days. Once things are functioning and inflammation is down, they can add a food back in like once every 3 to 5 days and test it and see how they feel. Typically, for the most part, like they'll react if that food is specific, inflammatory to them, and then they can continue to add foods back in slowly but surely from there. But the biggest thing is, for the most part, once inflammation's calmed down, a lot of our patients don't really react to many foods. They might have like 1 or 2 foods that just don't make them feel well. But for the most part, if they go through this process, I don't think they'll get to a point where it's like, hey, I know my exact foods that make me feel like garbage, and you don't have to be worried about this, what you're going to eat and all this stuff, right? Which I think is a common thing that we struggle with, especially as influencers. And you look at all the different influencers where one says one thing, one says the next thing, and we have people that are actually listening to them like, I can't even eat. I can't even be in a bubble. I need to jump in a bubble, but the bubble is made of plastic and it has BPA, and I can't even be in that thing.
Dude, it's crazy. When did it become normal to take nutrition advice from influencers screaming in supermarkets? Like anointing foods either approved or forbidden, It's just like so crazy to me that's become the new normal.
It's funny.
And, oh my God.
And then you have patients who are so fearful. And in reality, we try to simplify that for you in this book where, hey, here's a plan. Avoid inflammatory foods initially, add foods back in slowly but surely, and listen to your body because everyone's different. And then by the time you're done, there might be a food or two that hey, every time I eat that, I get a headache or I get bloating or I get joint pain or whatever. I'm just going to avoid that. We obviously want to eat foods that are nice back to us, right?
Yeah.
But when it comes to the influencers, it is kind of funny because we'll have some patients come in that are so fearful and worried and concerned about, I can't really do anything. They're like, one, they're on 100 supplements. And then 2, their diet is so limited that it's actually destroying the gut microbiome, and it's causing a ton of problems just because they don't have the mixture and variety of vegetables and everything there. And so now they have their main immune system, which is in the gut, is not functioning well, and they're sick because of, what they're trying to do from all the people they listen to, essentially.
Yeah. What I hate the most is when influencers take it upon themselves to either approve or banish certain foods. Like
Totally.
This food is so-and-so approved. It's like, who the hell are you?
It's so true.
Yeah.
And even for me, my biggest goal is to teach you, educate you, show you what to do and what not to do. But in turn, listen to your body, and what's good for you might be completely different for even your sister or your friend or for whoever. We each have different physiological biochemistries, and we each adapt differently. We each have a different form of resilience. And so we can withstand something different that maybe our friend can't or whatever, right?
Yeah. Now, and also it's not necessarily even a forever prescription, right, to exclude certain foods that might actually, in fact, be triggering you acutely in the moment. I'm not a gut health expert, but what I've gleaned from conversations with other experts is that sometimes a sensitivity might be due to, something gone awry in the gut, like intestinal permeability and whatnot, and you heal that situation, and you could begin to even integrate those foods back in, the foods that you might be sensitive to in that sort of gut dysbiotic context.
1,000%. When somebody is really sick, has intestinal permeability, poor digestion, poor absorption, poor gut microbiome, let's say decreased HCl, decreased digestive enzymes, they're going to react to foods way differently than somebody who has all that stuff corrected and improved, right? And in reality, if we develop the proper HCl and digestive enzymes, they'll break down our food proteins into single amino acids, and our immune system can't react to a single amino acid. So, check that out. So The only time our immune system can react to food proteins is when those amino acids are strung together.
In peptides, right? When they're not fully broken down.
Exactly, when they're not fully broken down. So you think about it, if I can help my patients digest their food, then they shouldn't react to any foods whatsoever. Their immune resilience will be significantly better and heightened than what it would be otherwise. So you're exactly right. There's a lot of our patients that you can get to improve their overall physiology, and then they're able to eat the foods that would flare them up significantly 6 months earlier, because now their body's functioning at a lot higher level.
So interesting.
We might have a patient with 15 food intolerances right now, and then in 6 months have a list of maybe one.
Wow.
Just by improving your overall physiology.
When it comes to digestion, are you a fan of supplements like digestive enzyme supplements and betaine HCl? Like I don't really, I'm not at all versed in the like literature on them, but I have them in my cupboard and
Totally.
I take them just because mentally, like, it makes sense. Like, I'm taking a bunch of enzymes concurrent with like a meal. So
Yeah.
And typically, like, as an anecdote, but like I feel better when I take them, especially if I'm eating like a big, heavy, fatty meal. Like if I'm going out to a restaurant with my brothers and we know that we're just gonna like pig out. I take like a handful of enzymes and HCl, and I feel generally, I think, better.
Yeah, I love digestive enzymes because you're just aiding in helping those food proteins break down, right? So you're minimizing the workload that your body will have to do, especially if we're eating inflammatory foods. What I like to do even better, though, is to get to the mechanism of why they don't have the proper digestive enzymes functioning, right? A lot of people don't know, and a lot of like health practitioners out there, they'll see a lot of chronic severe cases, and they'll work with the stomach, the liver, the hormones, the blood sugar levels, but they completely neglect the brain. And this is kind of an interesting thing. Your brain, when it fires properly, it fires down to the vagal nuclei and then back down to the stomach and intestinal tract. And it actually increases the amount of digestive enzymes that your body produces. It increases HCl, it increases blood flow to the gut, gut motility, all that stuff. So there's a lot of times someone might have brain inflammation and it's not firing to the intestinal tract, and then they have super low digestive enzymes. They can't break down their food. They develop food intolerances, and then we have lots of problems from there. So I love, just from a health standpoint, taking digestive enzymes and betaine HCl and things like that. That doesn't like hurt anybody, right? But if that person's brain isn't firing properly, then they're going to have all those low levels just from their brain not firing properly. And all you have to do is just stimulate the frontal cortex to get it to fire, and there you go. You actually fix the mechanism. But you'll see a lot of really, really sick people who are on a ton of different supplements, doing a lot of different things, and the mechanism, which is the brain, isn't ever addressed. And then as soon as they come off of it, it's like they spiral downhill again.
Hey, if you liked that video, you need to check out this one here, and I'll see you there.